What if Izuku had the 6 eyes? Plain and simple. So ever since I saw JJK, Gojo was interesting. At first I thought when he showed his eyes it was just for aesthetic, or just to look cool. I mean, Goku removed his shirt almost every fight. But then we explained about his 6 eyes and how they are broken. I mean, lapis blue, reverse red, a hollow purple, teleportation, infinity. There was some drawback from using it for a long period of time, but he was able to work past it. So the guy, like he explained, was the chosen one, the strongest. And he was just like a human tank. Nothing can touch him, well, except for the manga. If you know, you know. I won't spoil anything. So I usually just slap the eyes on Izuku, will give him some powers and be done with it. But this time I'm going to go with the quirk route. It will be way more reasonable and less work for me. So the story starts when Izuku is around 5 years old. One day his eyes started hurting a bit, and when he checked in the mirror, he found them change from his usual green to a bright blue color. His mom seeing this quickly took him to the doctor, and he found that Izuku developed his own quirk, just like some of the populace. They don't know what is his quirk yet, so if anything happened, bring him here. Inko nodded and he took Izuku back home. But later that day Izuku started crying, his eyes are hurting. And even though he's blind, he still can see his mom coming toward him. Quickly taking Izuku to the hospital, Izuku explained what he saw. So they tested and they are surprised. So they do some other tests and they explained that his eyes give him a superior sight. Even with them closed, he can still see perfectly clear. So our guess is this high level of sight is pushing and overloading his eyes and brain. That's why he's in pain. So I suggest he keep the blindfold and only remove it for a small period of time. And also there is some unique type of glasses he can wear. Inko thanked them and she took Izuku back home. So Izuku, being a kid, quickly met his friends and he told them about his quirk. At first they found it cool because of his unique eyes, but as time goes on, just like Ken, Bakugo started getting cocky and him and Izuku start arguing quite a lot, even fighting. And they are somewhat equal at first. With Izuku's superior vision, he can somewhat predict Bakugo's attacks. So after a bit he decided to gang up on him using his friends. And that proved too much for Izuku. Quickly getting pushed to a corner, they were going to attack him, but then they froze in place. It's like something is stopping them. They took a step back and they try again. Same result. Izuku seeing this, he realized that it was his doing. So to test something out, he pulled his hand toward Bakugo and instantly he felt himself getting pulled toward Izuku. Not expecting this, Izuku dodged and Bakugo landed face first on the ground. Enraged but knowing he was defeated, Bakugo licked his wounds and left with his lackeys. Even a thoughtful Izuku, and with this, years passed. Izuku discovered Limitless and Lapis Blue, but also the drawbacks of using any of them, at least at their full power. So he kept that in mind and kept training. And his friendship with Bakugo is pretty much non-existent. They are full-blown rivals. And this actually made Bakugo a bit stronger than canon, because Izuku is always ahead of him. Of course, Izuku did have his encounter with the sludge villain, but with the quick use of Lapis Blue, and he turned him into a sludge ball. Soon All Might arrived. He congratulated Izuku on doing a good job, but he did scold him for using his quirk, without a license. Izuku got his autograph and they part ways. Then you have another time skip. Izuku prepared himself as much as he can to do an entrance exam. They entered, they met Principal Mike, you know the drill, and Izuku found himself in front of the gate, and he easily got quite a lot of points by forcing the robots to smash into each other, or just crushing them. Izuku is on a roll. Then the 0 point was unleashed. Everyone ran except for Izuku. He can see perfectly clear that Oraka is stuck, quickly going to help her, but when he grabbed her, the 0 point robot is going to crush them. From sheer desperation, he forced his scope to teleport them a couple of blocks away, leaving a stunned Izuku. Quickly snap out of it when Plasma declared the end of the exam. So for the next week, while waiting for the letter, Izuku tests out his new ability. It's more like teleportation than moving at super speed. It's like I'm using Lapis Blue on myself. So what else can I do with it? Then he got his letter that he was accepted. So currently Izuku is in class 1A, meeting new people, making new friends, meeting an old rival, and a bubbly girl that showed up behind him. She thanks Izuku for saving her. Izuku smiled a bit. Don't worry about it. And who are you? He looked behind Oraka. Aizawa was not surprised. He read his file about his quirk. So Aizawa exited his caterpillar form and he introduced himself. But then he told them about his little test. So when they gathered outside, he threw the ball to Izuku. And he ordered him to throw it as far as he can using his quirk. Izuku grinned. Yo Teach, can I try something new? This is the perfect opportunity to do it. Aizawa sighed, do whatever you want. Just throw it as far as you can. Izuku smirked. He put the ball in front of him, and right behind it he pulled up 2 fingers. A small red ball of energy formed on the tip, with a simple muttering of reverse red. What can be described as a massive wave of force pushed the ball far away. Heck, it even destroyed some of the ground. Aizawa was left stunned. What was that? He asked. Izuku explained it. Thing is, I have to use double the power for this technique, comparing to Lapis Blue. So for the rest of the exams, Izuku basically aced it. And after showing the results, Aizawa dismissed everyone. And Izuku made some friendship with his classmates, like Oraka and surprisingly, Kaminari. During the exam, Izuku started taunting, or encouraging, his classmate to do better. I'm putting a bit of Gojo's personality here, just to make things a little bit more fun. Then the next day, it's All Might's class, same thing happened as canon. Izuku teamed up with Oraka, and he's going against Ida and Bakugo. So, Midoriya, is there something between you and Bakugo? I can see him glaring at you. Oh, let's just say we have a bit of a heated rivalry between us. But don't worry, stay close to me and you will be fine. Izuku gave her a grin and a thumbs up. Oraka smiled, blushed, then he got excited. Soon All Might gave him the go-ahead to enter the building, and Izuku is a bit in disadvantage here. His eyes doesn't let him see through walls, and the other two are a bit destructive, so he had to figure out something. And soon, because Bakugo is right in front of him, and he's pissed, Izuku sent Oraka away, and he fight Bakugo. And just like the previous fights, they are equal. Bakugo knew about Izuku's disadvantage, and he started thinking that he won, until Izuku started using his new ability, an air quote on ability. Suddenly teleporting behind Bakugo, he delivered a freeze kick to his face that made him see the word spinning. So Bakugo, what do you think of my new technique? Bakugo growled. That was only a cheap shot. Really? This is coming from you? The guy that was not able to defeat me alone? Yeah, we'll see about that. You're not the only one with new tricks. There he prepared his gauntlet. All Might tell him to not do it. But he fired at Izuku. The floor was destroyed, but when the smoke dissipated, Izuku is standing there. That was close. I almost felt that. Bakugo was enraged, and he charged at Izuku. Izuku's response, firing a weak reverse red, sending Bakugo out of the building. Seeing this, Izuku shrugged and went to Oraka. And for Ida, Izuku is just too OP at this point. He can teleport, grab Ida or the bomb and win. And of course, Bakugo was taken to the infirmary. So the next day rolls around, and everyone is heading to the USJ. But unlike canon, I think All Might will be with them, because I still think he will still have one for all. Considering his bad relationship with Night Eye, he will not take Mirio immediately. He needs to see with his own eyes that Mirio is worthy. So they arrive, and soon everything went dark. Kurigiri show up and release the horde of villains. Quickly, All Might and Aizawa jump to action, and seeing this, Kurigiri summoned the Nomu. The students want to help, but 13 told them to stay put. They will be a liability. Everyone understood except for Bakugo. He wanted to prove that he's better than Izuku, and what better way to do it than fighting real villains. So he started flying to help Aizawa. Aizawa scolded him, but it was already too late. While this Bakugo is powerful, he doesn't have a lot of experience, so Aizawa have to cover him most of the time, especially with a horde of endless villains. And that let him open for Shigaraki. He was able to decay his elbow, forcing him to retreat. Bakugo tried his luck, but Kurigiri intervened, teleporting him right in front of Shigaraki, and Shigaraki was going to decay him, face first. Until Bakugo was pulled toward Aizawa, and Bakugo knew who did this. He looked up and see Izuku. Deku. Izuku is currently floating, and even removed his blindfold. The villains froze at the sight of his eyes, quickly landing in front of them. So you're the big bad villain? Come on, bring it. Shigaraki gets pissed and attacked Izuku, but soon he was stopped by Infinity. For your quirk to work, you need to touch your opponent. So I am your worst one. Quickly punching Shigaraki as hard as he can. It did hurt, but not too much. He's still a 15-year-old kid, and his quirk doesn't give him super strength. If I do that, he will be too OP and the story will be just a one-shot. Then Izuku followed to the reverse red, hurting Shigaraki quite a bit. Seeing this, Kurigiri tried to take him away, but Izuku stopped him using Lapis Blue. But Izuku was distracted when a few villains attacked him. Luckily Aizawa stopped them, but that was the window that Kurigiri needed, so he quickly teleported Shigaraki away. Soon the other teachers arrive, and quickly capture all the villains. Bakugo and Izuku got a scolding, especially Bakugo. Great, I saved your ass and this is my reward. I didn't need your help. Yeah, sure, this coming from the guy that almost got decayed. Bakugo growled and started going on a rant, but Izuku had enough. Okay, what's your problem with me? For years you've been on my case. Day in and day out try to fight me. And last time I checked, I did nothing to you. Heck, we were friends and you blew it. For what? Pride? Your pride almost killed you. And I guarantee you, next time, I won't be there to save you. Bakugo scoffed and looked away. After this, they were given 2 weeks to prepare to the sport festival, and Izuku spent all his time trying to develop something new. After seeing the Nemu's strength, and from his own experience, he knew that his Limitless will not be able to stop that kind of strength and speed. He has some perfect candidates for that, but the most efficient one is Bakugo. So I don't need to say it, but he will refuse. So the day of the festival rolls around, and Izuku was called to give a speech. He gave a small one. He both encouraged and taunt people that even made Aizawa proud and annoyed at the same time. So it's time for the obstacle course. Todoroki frees the exit, tried to block everyone, but some of them managed to escape, and Izuku was one of them. Easy going through the robots, since they cannot even touch him. The 0.2 robots were a bit of a problem, especially after Todoroki frees them, but with the quick teleportation, he kept his first place, and Bakugo is trying to catch up to the two of them. It was close, very close, but at the end Izuku turned his head to them, smirk, then he disappeared. And he appeared a few feet from the finishing line, giving him 10 million points. Todoroki got the second place and Bakugo third. And after a break, it's time for everyone to team up. And even though Izuku have the 10 million point, everyone saw how strong he is. So he have a lot of options. But because I'm kind of lazy on doing this and he's so strong that he will win with any team, literally you can give him Minata and he will win. I think even Minata will be useful in this case, but I digress. So Izuku won since no one can actually touch him, and if they try to kick him off, if they could, he can float. So after 15 minutes, he was declared the winner. And now they were given a second break. And unlike Canon, Todoroki doesn't have his talk with Izuku, considering that his quirk doesn't resemble All Might's one at all. So the fight are just like Canon. Deku going against Shinso, and I don't need to describe it because Izuku win. Sure, Shinso's words almost got to him, but when that happened, Izuku just pushed him out of the arena. But when he was heading toward the arena to fight Todoroki, Endeavor did stop him. You're strong, brat. So I want you to force Shoto to use his fire, so he can finally do his purpose to be stronger than All Might. Izuku's respond? He started laughing like a maniac. Purpose? What are you, his god? Newsflash, Endeavor. While you are the second strongest in Japan, I know several people all around the world that can bit slap you. Sure, All Might is the strongest, but I know some people that can beat him in certain scenarios, and you're not one of them. Todoroki have the potential to be stronger than you because of his quirk, but that doesn't give you the right to push your own failed dream on him, just because you are too weak. Ulfrin flinched and clenched his fist. Izuku saw this and smiled even more. Oh, did I touch a nerve? Are you going to hit me? To fight me? I never fought a hero before, so you can be the first one. Izuku slowly showed one of his eyes, and Endeavor forced himself to not flinch. His piercing blue eyes somewhat resembles All Might, but him are different. They are promising him pain if he tried anything. So he scoffs and walks away. Izuku put his blindfold back on and went to the arena. He prepared himself to fight Todoroki, and like he expected, Todoroki only used his ice, and it did nothing. Izuku can dodge or let his Limitless block it, and after a few minutes Todoroki started getting covered with frost. You're reaching your limit, Todoroki, so how about you use your full quirk, not half of it. Todoroki growled and broke his calm mask and tell him he won't use his father's quirk. So he got you that much? You're pathetic, you know that? Because last time I checked, I'm fighting Shoto Todoroki, not Endeavor. He gave you half your gene, so what? We are here to be heroes, to grow stronger, to protect others, not for petty family drama. If you're here just to prove Endeavor that he's wrong about you needing his quirk, then quit and leave your way. You're taking a place that someone will have, and trust me, there is. So stop crying and tell me, what do you want? Todoroki had a flashback, and soon he erupted in flames. He grinned after telling Izuku he would become a hero. Izuku grinned back. Todoroki fired a massive ice barrage at him. Izuku dodged only to see Todoroki preparing to use his fire. Smirking, he removed his blindfold and prepared to use a stronger reverse red. The two fired each other, and the result explosion covered the area with smoke, but it soon revealed both of them standing, but Todoroki looking worse for wear. On top of that, he's outside of the arena. While Izuku did put quite a lot of power inside his attack, he made it slightly stronger than Todoroki's. He knew how damaging his attack can be. And now for the finals. Izuku versus Bakugo. Both of them stand staring at each other, and Izuku smirk. Just like old times, don't you think? Bakugo scoffed and prepared himself. And I don't need to describe it, but Izuku won. Sure, Bakugo did put up an effort, but with Limitless and Bakugo already exhausted himself from his fight against Oraka, Izuku won. After another clash between Bakugo's Rouser Impact and Izuku's Reverse Red. So he was declared the winner, All might show up by jumping from the roof. He congratulated everyone. The third piece was shared between Tokoyami and Todoroki. He gave them words of encouragement, especially Todoroki. Then Bakugo and lastly Izuku. You have come far, my boy. We expect great things from you. Izuku smiled and thanked him, and while they're celebrating, a few group of people are watching them carefully. One is of course the League of Villains with All for One. After his defeat to Izuku, he explained in great details about Izuku's quirk, or what he thought it is. And now his previous fights confirm it, so he can create an invisible shield around him. And even without his eyes, he still can see. Izuku Midoriya, your quirk will be useful, especially in my current state. And the other ones were the Metal Liberation Army, or to be more precise, a Serdestro's group. This kid, Izuku Midoriya, his quirk is very strong. We need to keep an eye on him. He could be an ally or a threat. So after the sport festival, everyone was given a day off to rest. And Izuku is thinking on what agency he should go to. Then he shrugged and decided to wait for the results. He will choose only the best, and whoever will make him stronger. Unbeknownst to him, he will cross paths with a certain killer. And I'm going to stop it right here. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe if you're new. And see you guys soon. Peace.